All right, hi there. We have a need to add to our previous um, series where we deployed Federation and upgraded the Federation environment. The need I have today is to deploy a new location. So this we're going to deploy a nested lab location in my home lab. We are also going to then onboard that location to the global manager. This is so a lot of this in the beginning is going to be a lot of the kind of nested build out VCSA install, deploying ESXi nodes with Terraform, and just really building out the components of that new site. So I'll go through my physical networks that I utilize for this, for management, for vMotion, um, and we'll go through the deployment of Cumulus Linux leaf switches. So initially, I guess in this first video, we will go through the environment. Currently, we're in my infrastructure cluster, so these are two physical hosts sitting in my lab. So I have one site on one and one site sitting on the other, but they can move back and forth. Now, the next site I will deploy to these hosts. So I'm going to create some more. I guess these aren't clusters in here. We just have them as resource pools. Let's create a new resource pool and we'll call it site 2 compute nodes. And I'll just leave everything at defaults. This is just an easy way for me to keep things separate and a little bit more organized. And then site 2 dash infra. So in each of these, and I'll show you site 3. Site 3 infra is my global manager, my leaf and spine combos. Those are Cumulus devices. And then VCSA and my manager itself. In site 3 compute nodes, we have our deployed 4 hosts, ESXi hosts, and the same thing again for site 4. So we'll deploy all this in the next couple of videos. I'm not going to make them too long, but it should, I mean, it's going to be a number of videos, I'm guessing. I will pause for anything that's going to take a while, but we'll get started. So those are completed. Just to show you quickly, I run all my management through a edge router. So they're just on ETH1 down to a switch, and then the VDS is on the inside or the nested environment have uplinks to reach these. vMotion uses a separate VDS, and it's just using again ETH1, so 91 and 3 for storage. You can screenshot or pause the recording to take a closer look at those. All right, and then inside the environments, this is what those what VCSA on say site 4 looks like. You have your 4 hosts added. I have an application with one VM here that's stretched to the other site. It has Web 2 on the other site, as well as its app and DB layers. And then an edge cluster that sits here as well. This on site 3 is the same, although we're in networking here. Same thing here. So that's my application. There's my edges. And then if we go back to networking, we have the 2 VDSs that link back to those edge routers. And then uplinks for the Cumulus, we just use like the trunks and stuff to get back and forth through there. All right, so next step is we can, I guess first things first, we can go ahead and deploy our VCSA. Let's do that. Site 2 infra, I'll deploy it here. So this will pause unless there's things we can do while that happens. So just quickly. Oops. I'm thinking. Oh, I realize. First snafu, you can't deploy the ISO like that. Remind me. All right, let's go to. We just need to open it up here. That's better. Install. Go ahead and install. Once we get this started, we'll go ahead and add our DNS entries. I recently had a failure in my volume, my storage, and I lost a bunch of my sites. So this is kind of rebuilding. And what was good is that I should have my storage here for site 2. There we go. But I do not have my DNS entries all set up. So we'll do that. And I believe I have not created my VLAN 20. So all management, so essentially all my networks per site start at the 10s. So site 1 would be 10, site 2 would be 20, site 3 is 30, and site 4 is 40. So 30 is management, 31 is my BGP peering, and it's a /30. All the others, 32 through 39, are all taken up and have some special use. We'll can potentially go through that later. For now, I just need to add a port group, call it right. That should enable me, and then I'll do 21 as well for my BGP peering. Since we're here. And 21, that should be the same. If I configure and look at my policy, this one says VLAN 30. Here 20 and 30, which is the same. Yeah, they're all just tagged at their VLAN. Switch back. If I can go forward maybe. There it is. 20. Mm. 71 /24 20.1 on the edge router. 3.5 is my Synology, and that's where my DNS resides. All right, we'll get to starting that, and then while that's starting, we can go to edge. That's one. All right, so if I show you for 2, we've got nothing. We essentially need to create all these guys. I can do some of them off, but let's do the VCSA first, because that's going to be what we deploy first. So essentially like this, let's edit it just to grab the name. Create a type record. And we'll go ahead and do the virtual ESX. And 7 because it's vSphere 7, and then I just do vSphere 7A, A, B, C, and D. But 41. Let's start at 40. Save. There's our ESXi host as well. We'll come back to this to finish it off. Let's see, we're 16% deployed. We're only about 15 minutes for the video so far, I think. So if I switch over, we can attempt to see if this will run. So the script itself, I've had for a while that deploys these ESXi hosts. And this is Terraform. We're deploying 4 OVFs or OVAs. These nested virtual ESXi. Those are William Lamb's. They're downloaded from William Lamb's blog or download site for his ESXi nodes. So we can look at that. So now we're deploying all those nodes as well. Say 2 compute nodes. Nope, it's say 2. That's all right. So there they are. Deploying. Looks like that. We didn't put it into the folder. We can move it after it's deployed. I'll pause the recording here and we'll come back when it's closer to being completed. All right, so that really didn't take that long. It is only maybe an extra minute or so. They have all deployed. Oh. To migrate. Okay. Everything's migrating because DRS is kicked in. Okay, so these are probably still just coming up, however. Yeah, you can see they're only in the beginning stages. All right, I'll pause it again. We'll come back when the VCSA is deployed. Actually, I think we can work on other things. So from site 3, typically what I'll do is just clone these from the spine first. I am looking forward to, a buddy of mine has a way to deploy this just like the ESXi host with Ansible. I'm not as expertise, I don't have much expertise with Ansible, but I look forward to trying that out soon. All right, clone to virtual machine. 2 spine. And we'll put it on NFS pod 2. All these migrations going on. Much. 3, 4. Let's just do them all at the same time. Leaf 2. All right, spine completed. So we can work on re-IPing. So that won't communicate just yet. We need to get onto the console and change the ETH0. All right, that's set. We can now, we should be able to at least get to the site 2. All right, I'll pause it here. This is another, I lost my original session, so these haven't, all the new sessions haven't been imported. So I'll recreate these off the line. These are just essentially putty sessions. Actually, we can do the first one, I guess. Just copy you and paste you into here. Oh, and there. That's weird. Can't get to it. The wrong units. No. Oh. I know what it is. We don't have a DNS entry for it. And, 10. Okay, that should resolve that. Happened to it. Eight out of 10. Okay. Let's go back to here and check my. I'm not going to be on the right network. Oh, look, I'm not on it. Yeah, 30. You need to be on 20. Okay, so that should now do it. So I have it automatically given me some data. So we do our BGP summary. Actually, we're already peered to one of the leafs. We're not peered to the spine yet, and that's because we have the configuration change we need to make. All right, so what I do here is I pull out my entire configuration. This will be easier once I have it automated. on my other machine here, which go across. I'll just quickly go through it. All right, my AS number changes from 30 to 20. This is my router IDs, all my peerings. So it was actually peering to site 3, which would be bad. I can take out these. And that's where you're peering to. So this is the switchboard that actually peers to the edge router, and it's not overly known, I suppose. It's not in the UI that you can use BGP with an edge router. We'll change all these to 124. These should all be up to do that again. So 20s. So that's where all the other VLANs come into play. Also, just as a note, anything that's in virtual space in the Cumulus is on a 172.16. These obviously have to change too. And so anything that's attached to the edge routers are 192.168. Anything on the Cumulus is 172.16. And then anything in my overlay space, or in NSX overlay networks, they're all in 1010 range. So they go 1010 10 10 10 20 10 10 30 depending on the site. 2 20. Two for the host name, and I think that's it, but maybe we should just do a quick find. At 3, that 3 is okay. It's okay. Change this. 2. Through a few more descriptions or aliases, but essentially that's should be it. And then it's as simple as copying the whole thing, pasting it. And committing it. All right, so let's do a match. Summary. All right, so now I'm connected BGP peered to my edge router, and I'm getting 43 routes. So if I do match the route, I can see that I'm getting site 4, site 3, bunch of different routes from all over, and then all the different stuff from the edge router itself. It would look maximize that. So here I've preset all my neighbor commands are configured. So this is site 2 and 3 and 4. So site 3 and 4 are already established. They've been up for a while. And they're in federation configuration. So site 2 is the new one that we're going to onboard. once we have everything else configured. All right, I think I'll stop the video here. So we've got the one VCSA is deploying. We deployed all the edges. Let me just show that really quickly. That's VCSA is still deploying. If we go here, we have all of our edges deployed. So those look good. We can try pinging them real quick. Virtual ESXi 7A. I guess, did I not create the DNS entries? Anyway, we'll create the DNS entries to make sure we can get to those. Make sure they have the right. Yeah, VLAN 20. 2 uplinks for vMotion, 2 uplinks for our trunks. All right, we'll stop here. I'll come back in the second video with further progress and our next steps.